Hello everyone, it's Grappo FK again. Hoping everyone saw the Costa Adesanya beef. Andrew, did you see it?
I did, yeah. It was entertaining. It's kind of reignited the beef, as it were, because we did think that they were a little bit too pally. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Costa turned
Yeah,
up
they
with a.
were.
Yeah, it kind of seems like they actually don't like each other now. Costa turned up with his black belt, took out a white belt, threw it at Izzy. Izzy grabbed it and then kind of like whipped him with it, uh, which was
Tried
entertaining.
to whip him.
Tried to whip him, yeah. He did look angry though
Tried
when
to,
he did it.
and then did a Karate Kid stance.
Yeah, Izzy did look
Yeah, I
pissed
think
off.
he's triggered is the word used nowadays. He's triggered Izzy twice. Once with the earring comment and today,
Did he get pissed
which
off with the earring comment?
isn't. Yeah, he did. He got
Ah,
very defensive about it.
okay.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But hopefully Costa breaks Izzy's ribs. But let's move on to the third fight on the main card of UFC 253. It's Kai Kara France against Brandon Royval. Don't Blink against Raw Dog. That's not the Darren Till patented. I can't say that word. But that's not Darren Till Raw Dog.
Is that Royval's nickname?
Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah, that is. Yeah.
I think he should be
It's
deducted
a
a fight
flyweight
in every
fight.
fight because he's just so ugly. Look at that face. I mean, what's
Well, thankfully, your beautiful image is covering up his face at the moment on my laptop, so I don't have to look at his face.
yeah?
But let's get into the stats. So Kai Kara France is a lot more experienced than him, way more fights in the UFC. He fights out of City Kickboxing from New Zealand. Brandon Royval's from the United States. Royval has got a significant height advantage. I don't know how he makes 125 at 5'9", but there are some people that do. Interestingly, Kai Kara France has a reach advantage. That also makes no sense. Leg reach is Brandon Royval. That's pretty much irrelevant because he's not really a striker. Significant strikes. Kai Kara France, being a kickboxer, is way ahead of him. He's actually in a deficit, Brandon Royval, which is not good. So he absorbs more than he.
He's only had one fight in the UFC though.
Yeah, which he won by submission, right?
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of striking going on there at all. And just remind me
He
what
is a BJJ.
But just remind me what he
Sorry?
the striking stats on the UFC site only take into account UFC fights, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Because
Yeah.
if we go to his takedown accuracy, it's 100%. So I'm assuming it only took into consideration the Tim Elliott fight,
Okay.
where he must have taken him down at 100% rate and then submitted him. So yeah, you're right. But I mean, where was he before this? Do we know? He was at. I'm assuming it was like LFA or something.
Brandon Royval, yeah, LFA.
Yeah, it was at LFA. That's it. Yeah, yeah, because he fought the guy that Tyson Nam knocked out a few weeks ago. I forget his name. Rivera, I think it was. Yeah, Rivera. His surname is Rivera.
Yeah.
Um,
Jerome Rivera.
he fought him at LFA. Yeah, Jerome Rivera. That's the one. Yeah. So obviously the grappling advantage goes to Brandon Royval. He's got a BJJ background. Again, as Andrew pointed out, these figures are skewed. He's only had one fight in the UFC. So what are the initial thoughts, Andrew? It seems like it's a striker against a BJJ guy, but this is a striker with very, very high takedown defense, 90% as we can see.
I mean, my first issue is on Tapology. Tapology is giving very different heights and reaches than the UFC website is. So
Yeah, that's always the case, though.
yeah, so according to Tapology, Brandon Royval has a very significant reach advantage, and terms of height, Tapology is saying that Royval is not in, 5'9". Actually, I think that's consistent. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, if he's really 5'9", actually, LFA seems to think Brandon Royval is 5'7". 5'9" is crazy for a flyweight.
That's what, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I suspect he's got to be shorter. He's got to be closer to 5'7".
Yeah, probably.
But either way, even if he is 5'7", that's a 3-inch height advantage over Kai,
Yeah,
which is a lot.
it's a lot. I think it would be more significant if he was if he was a better striker.
Well, that's a good question.
I mean, it can help you on the ground as well if your limbs are long and you're strong to submit someone. But Kai Kara-France has got very, very high takedown defense.
Yeah, he does have very good takedown defense. But yeah, you raised the issue of Brandon Royval striking. There's not much footage of him striking because most of his fights, he takes him to the ground very quickly, or he allows himself to be taken down very quickly. So we don't really get to see much of his striking ability. There's one fight against Casey Kenny. This was back in LFA, I think, a few years ago. Casey Kenny now being a UFC fighter with something like four wins or something. So Brandon Royval faced Casey Kenny. A lot of that was standing up. And from what I saw from Brandon Royval, it was a very mixed bag in terms of his striking. On the one hand, he has beautiful slips and counters, which look really nice, look really relaxed and confident. And with those slips and counters, he looked like a proper boxer, which is really nice. But on the other hand, he had his chin held high and his hands low. And he did get cracked hard by Casey Kenny. So it's just a mixed bag. Some things I really like, some things I feel maybe Kai Kara-France can exploit.
Yeah. Well, you'd imagine that the guy with the kickboxing background, who's from the same gym as Izzy, Alexander Volkanovski, so on and so forth, would have the better striking, and he does. He's got pretty good striking, and he's also obviously got a way better CV. He's 4-1 in the UFC. He's fought some decent opposition. He's coming off a win against Tyson Nam, who's on a 2-fight win streak himself now.
Tyson
2 KOs.
Tyson Nam sucks, dude.
He doesn't, though, does he? He's not that bad, dude. You can't suck and be on a 2-fight win streak. He's got power. He's got power in his right hand.
His record.
He can crack.
Yeah, he's okay. He's got two.
Yeah,
things. He's got a nice jab
his record's
and a
not
powerful
great.
right hand. That's it.
Yeah, his record's not great, but that doesn't mean that he can't be improving at this stage in his career, and we have seen that with other fighters. He's won a few in the UFC, so I wouldn't say he sucks. He's definitely not elite level. He's not top 15, obviously. But my point is that he's been in the UFC a lot longer, and he's fought better guys overall than Royval. I mean, he's also fought quite a few people who were at bantamweight originally. So one of his losses 4 or 5 years ago to a guy called Mark Striegel, I think it is, or Mark Siegel, that guy is now making his UFC debut at bantamweight against one of Khabib's cousins in a few weeks' time. So Kai Kara-France has been fighting people a lot bigger than him for a significant segment of his life, which I think is a good thing.
So that guy, Mark Striegel, whatever, yes, was a few years ago. I think that was in some Malaysian regional promotion. I think.
Yeah.
This happens a lot.
He's in one now.
Yeah, but I mean, this happens a lot. Guys will fight bigger guys on the regional scene, and they can do that because they're just a lot better. They don't need to cut that weight, and they can afford to fight bigger guys. I don't think Kai Kara Francis faced very many decent people, apart from Brandon Moreno, who he lost to. He's faced Tyson Nam, Brandon Moreno, Mark De La
Yeah.
Rosa, Raulian Paiva, Elias Garcia in the UFC. None of those are decent, apart from
Yeah,
Brandon
some of them
Moreno.
aren't great.
They're not.
He won one of those rounds against Brandon Moreno, I'd say.
He won the first round. Yeah, he looked good in the first round.
Yeah.
But that's such an interesting fight, because I feel like that fight, at least halfway through, revealed where Kai Kara Francis is at in terms of his ability. Because from the second round on, Brandon Moreno, who is a really good boxer, just systematically dismantled him. He just broke him. And it was a very convincing win for him. And I think it just kind of revealed Kai Kara Francis' limitations with the striking. I know Kai Kara Francis' strike is probably better than Royval's, but there are problems with Kai Kara Francis' striking. Yes, he's explosive. Yes, he's got a powerful rear hand that can knock people down.
Yeah.
And he's got a nice jab. But he doesn't use the jab to set anything up. He'll just dart in with a jab and dart out, and that's it. You know, he doesn't use it to set up combinations.
He's a kickboxer, that's why.
Yeah. And he moves.
He's a kickboxer.
He comes in.
Kickboxers do that sometimes.
Well, yeah, kickboxing is not as sophisticated as boxing. So my problem with Kai Kara Francis is he moves linearly, you know, backwards and forwards in a straight line. So when he gets hit, he just covers up, then moves backwards in a straight line, which is a cardinal sin in boxing. You can get away with that kind of thing for the kind of competition he's faced in the UFC so far. But when you face an actual boxer like Brandon Moreno, he gets pieced up. I mean, I don't want to shit all over Kai Kara Francis because he is explosive. He does cover that distance. And when he lunges in, moves forward with the jab and the right hand, you know, he does hurt people with it. But there's just a level here. And
but the
question is just not that
here is he better than Royval? Yeah, that's not the question, is it? The question here is he better than Royval? And he probably is a better striker than Royval.
From what I've seen from Royval's striking, I think Royval has got the potential to be better. I've seen certain things that Royval does a lot better, like the slipping and the countering. But yeah, you've probably got to give it to Kai Kara Francis here in the striking department.
Yeah.
Because Royval makes some mistakes. And we just haven't seen enough of his striking.
Yeah, it's just he's only had one fight in the UFC. That's the problem. Although he has faced some stiff competition in LFA.
That begs a question.
Yeah, I mean, most of his wins are subs. Sorry?
I was going to say, that begs the question, is the competition that Brandon Royval has faced in LFA comparable to who the fighters Kai Kara Francis faced?
Kai Kara Francis faced some stiff guys in other organizations. He's fought in a few, and some of them have gone on to one. Some of them are coming to the UFC. A lot were bigger than him. So I think he's used to fighting people that are bigger than him. So that kind of eliminates the 3-inch or 4-inch height advantage. It'd be good to have actual figures that take into consideration all their fights. That would be good.
Yeah.
But the only way I can see Kai Kara France losing this, in my opinion, because Royval, because it's flyweight and Royval doesn't really have many TKOs or KOs on his record, and the ones that he does have were early on in his career and in LFA, is if he can get Kai Kara France down and submit him. And I think that Kai Kara France's grappling and takedown defense is good enough to avoid that for 3 rounds. So going on to predictions, I think Kai Kara France will probably edge this and get a decision. Just purely on on those facts that he's had more fights in the UFC. He's gone to the third round a number of times, and this will probably not be finished unless Brandon Royval submits him. He's got decent power. His knockdown average isn't great, but then again, it's flyweight. So I think overall, I'd favour Kai Kara in this. He's coming from a good camp as well. He's got a lot of good people around him. Dan Hooker, Izzy, Volkanovski, absolute killers coming out of that camp. So yeah, I think I have to give it to Kai Kara here. I'm not sure. I'm assuming he's a slight favourite. I haven't checked, just purely on his experience.
He's a heavy favourite. Let me convert this to.
He's a heavy favourite.
Yeah, he's a minus 250 favourite.
Oh shit!
Which implies that he wins 71.4% of the time. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have him that high.
Yeah, I mean, you're right about Kai Kara France's takedown defense. Against, who is this guy? Let me have a look. So against Mark De La Rosa.
Yeah, I think yeah, I know.
He looked really good. He stuffed those takedowns. He reversed a couple of positions, which was really nice. So I am wondering if Brandon Royval goes for a takedown, being more of a BJJ guy rather than a wrestler. I suspect Kai Kara France is going to stuff those takedowns. If he doesn't, I think he might be in trouble. If it stays on the feet, just based on the limited information we have, you have to give the advantage to Kai Kara France. Even though I'm really curious to see Brandon Royval striking, because there's some things that I really liked about it. But yeah, I think overall, yeah, you've got to give this to Kai Kara France, I think.
In the cum?
No, not for me. Because I think that there's a danger.
What about the risky cum?
Yeah, for a risky cum, yeah.
For a risky cum.
But to be honest, I'm trying to find reasons to bet on Royval here.
Yeah, I mean, you could put a bet down for a submission potentially. I wonder what the odds will be for that. Like an individual bet for a submission. Maybe double it up with something else on the card.
Yeah, so Brandon, what's his first name? Brandon Royval to win. He's a plus 188 underdog. There's quite a lot of value there, I think. Yeah, again, I was trying to find reasons for how Brandon Royval can win. That's not what you should be doing, really. I can see potentially Brandon Royval hitting him. I think Brandon Royval might be better on the floor than you think. Remember, he is bigger, he is longer, and he is taller.
Yeah, he is longer, but I think overall, from what I've seen, I think Kai Kara's got better striking than him. Granted, the stuff about the boxing, but I don't think Brandon's boxing. I don't think it's that great, to be honest. I mean,
it's probably not.
Slips are one thing, but that's just one. That's one aspect of boxing. So
yeah,
I think Kai Kara probably. I'd give it 65-35, so just under the implied odds. And I'll probably put him in the risky cum, but I may look into a submission win for Royval, because that's definitely possible. If he gets him down, he could submit him. France is only a blue belt, so
yeah. We've got the odds here for a Brandon Royval submission, 5-1.
Oh, okay.
So plus 500 in American odds.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, it's all right. I think you're right, though. I think for a risky cum, you can put Kai Kara France in there. not for the normal com. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
not
just
for the
really
normal one. Yeah.
yeah, I'm just really curious to see what Brandon Royval looks like in this fight.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Definitely interesting because he's only had one fight. So yeah, we'll see. But going on to to summarize for everyone, I've got Kai Kara France to win a decision, probably unanimous, and I'll be putting him in the risky come. And Andrew?
Yeah, I don't love Kai Kara France. I don't love him. But yeah, I agree. Yeah, Kai Kara France decision. Yeah, unanimous decision.
And just to add to that, you may want to look at small speculative bet. It's not even that speculative, I guess, on Royval submitting Kai Kara France within the 3 rounds because he does have a good submission game. I'm not sure what belt he is in BJJ, but his BJJ looks very, very, very good. So I'm guessing he's a brown or a black.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, there you
Probably,
go.
yeah.
Yeah, he looks like one. But yeah, there you go, everyone. We will be back soon with more fight picks from the prelims. So stay tuned and take care, everyone.
Cheers. Bye.